What's up, my Fina loves? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from Fina Timid News. Now, not a lot of you, but a few of you have slided my DMs a few times on Instagram, just, asking questions about Sheree. Is she really married to Tyron, or are they still dating? Is she coming up with her joggers line for real, or is it just another joke? Is she by Sheree joke? Questions about her house and just different questions about how come, when Nene and the whole Greg situation happened, not only did Nene tag Kim Zolciak into her post and said Kim reached out to her, she went as far as posting the gift that Kim sent her. And Kim cut Nene real deep. But for some reason, it was like she didn't tag Sheree into anything. And people, and including myself, were like, dang, it's really that bad? Like, yeah, sometimes you can rock with people from a distance and don't have to be in their presence and all of that. But, sometimes when things happen, you just have to put your differences aside and come through. And people were just like, if Kim could come through, Sheree can do the same thing. But we didn't see no tag where Sheree also addressed and answered those questions. Also answered questions about the show, whether she's really going or is she coming back. And I'm not talking. I'm going to let the music play so you guys can see all of the questions that Sheree was asked. It's going to be quiet for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and, focus on the Real Housewives of Atlanta questions. So my apologies for, the silence and all of that, but let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, well, there you have it. I know that was a long time to go with no talking and all of that, but I just want to do it that way. Now, let's focus on the important questions that just have to do with the show. The first Real Housewives of Atlanta question was, are you coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? Sheree responded, currently living my best life. I'm over that whole line. Was not interested in entertaining the low ball offer that was sent. No word. Okay, not paying you well is not the same as completely being fired. So she has a point when people say, were you fired? No, I wasn't fired. Okay, so this next question was, why didn't you accept the friend role for the show? I can't watch, the show without you, of course. And Sheree responded, thank you. I'm worth more than a friend, which is true. It's kind of like an insult in as much as I'm not here for Sheree. She was there with Nene and Lisa Wu and all of those other girls, Kim, all of them. They started the whole thing, right? So it's either like, okay, we don't want you anymore, have a nice life, but how dare you try to bring me back and reduce my role when I've always held a peach when I'm one of the original members of this, So I understand not respecting Sheree and all of that. As far as Bravo goes, I understand, like I said, how many times you're going to film her on the phone with Tyron. The house is, done. She's fixing some rooms here and there, but the house is not really a story again. She don't, what I'm saying? But when you really want someone on the show, regardless of how boring people might say that person's storyline is, Bravo will find a way to make it work. They just don't want Sheree on the show anymore. They did not want her on the show anymore. They did not want to be the one to say, you're fired for the second time, we're not bringing you back. Because at the end of the day, even though they could have done that, Sheree is one of the OGs. And there's no point of calling her back if we're just going to turn around and let her go. Which wouldn't have been a big deal for Bravo because they are ruthless like that. However, it was like, let's allow her to, end this herself. At least we can then move on with the conscience that we did still want her to be a part of the show and she declined. But I completely agree with her. It's like starting something and being up there and then someone insulting you. So I completely understand why, she turned it down. People still saying, oh girl, you're lying. You were never up for anything. And whatever the case might be, she was asked the question, she answered it. Either you believe it or not, but whatever the case might be, wishing Sheree the best with whatever she chooses to do in the future. Have you spoke to Kenya, Kim, and Nene lately? And Sheree, there you go. This is a confirmation some of you were waiting for and looking for. Talked to Kim and reached out to Nene some weeks ago. Now, reached out. Was it reciprocated? Okay? Because like I said, Nene, who sat on the stage and screamed, no possibility, could have basically responded to Kim, thanks, and left it at that. She did not only tag Kim in the post with everybody else, she responded and then went as far as basically giving Kim free promotion on her products by reposting some of the items that Kim sent to her on Instagram. Now, I understand Greg is going through a serious situation right now, cancer and all of that. I completely understand. And sometimes when life hits you like that and come hard like that, you just have to let all of the drama and being petty go and just focus on positivity and all of that, because you can't be asking for prayer and a miracle with a heart, with a dark heart like that. So sometimes you just have to look at what's important, let the hate go, and focus on enjoying life and just being positive. So that's what Nene was trying to do with Kim. But if she could do that with Kim, then she could do the same with Sheree. Now, maybe Sheree reached out after everything, and it was just like, you know what? Do you know how many people have reached out? A lot of my friends have reached out. Am I making social media posts every single time someone reached out? Absolutely not. So maybe Sheree reached out later on down the line, and it wasn't necessary for Nene to go ahead and just out of nowhere randomly be like, yeah, by the way, Sheree contacted me. It would have been weird. Whereas when she posted about Kim, it was all within the same week of people talking about Greg, health, her announcement, telling the other girls thank you and all of that. So it made sense for her to go ahead and say, you know what, while I'm at it telling people thank you, let's just go ahead and throw Kim in there somewhere. But, I did talk about this, so it's nice to know that with everything that has happened and all of that, they're able to put their differences aside, come together and be there for each other in their time of need. So that's cool that Sheree did reach out to Nene and was able to put, her differences aside. Now, whether Nene responded, whatever the case might be, I don't know. I don't know, but we shall see. So that's one of the other questions about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Then, of course, this one, fired. And she responded, fired, no honey, decline. I already read that in the first question, so this is basically the same thing. The next question was, are you dating Tyrone still, or you dating somewhere else? And of course, Sheree being Sheree, she wants to keep people talking, keep people guessing and all of that. So of course, she did not clearly answer that question. But no, I am not going to drag this video on any longer. It was just to focus on Sheree because some of you had questions. And she definitely went ahead and answered all of those questions. So I am going to go ahead and end it here, my Fina loves. Even though I'm not here for Sheree, okay, I am wishing her the best, and I'm want to say thank you to all of my supporters. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times. It's seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.